In 2020, Black Forest Games released Destroy All Humans, the remake to the original classic developed by Pandemic Studios. Ooh, there's something familiar about those numbers and letters being put together. Just can't figure out what it is. This remake was actually really good, and it helped me understand why my parents were so concerned about me playing it as a kid. 2 words: anal probe. Yeah, it's difficult to defend this one. It's a weapon that enters a person through the butt and forces their brain out of their head. Yikes. Destroy All Humans! 2 is a direct sequel to the first game following the charming Cryptosporidium, not to be confused with the gastrointestinal disease that causes diarrhea, kind of like the other crypto. It claims to be a nearly identical clone to the original, but we'll see about that. After the wacky human-destroying antics of the first remake, Crypto and Orthopox are ambushed, and just like that, we're playing video games. Imagine that. Hey, this is pretty cool, and just like I remember the original. Okay, not exactly like the original. They've added an extract brain button, the skate ability, and I can't believe I thought PK worked like this when it actually used to work like this.
Oh, screw it. Go with...
Now that Pox and I are stuck on Earth, we've got objectives to complete. The first one has an optional OBJ to PK a bunch of agents, so you know I had to do it. Mostly for the skins. How amusing. During which I picked up the jetpack. Oh yeah, I remember the jetpack. It was always this quick and agile, right? Oh, I guess not. I follow a nondescript blue trail and receive the disc locator, which mostly generates good content. Although it might be a war crime. While I was messing around, I made a guy love me so much that I couldn't hurt him, so I had to throw him way up in the air.
Love, it's a weird thing, ain't it? There's a way to explain.
Then I get a sick Scott Summers visor to shoot love at everyone, giving me an opportunity to body snatch with no one watching. In an attempt to change bodies, pretending to be a woman, I gather information about a guy called the Freak and then discover how weirdly satisfying it is to jump out of people's bodies.
Tell me, oh, that's totally wrong. That's just nasty.
Skipping over some boring stuff, I am told I need to appease a Furon god named Arkvoodle in order to create a landing pad for my saucer. Oh, okay, just gonna leave without saying goodbye. While collecting hoopla or whatever, a guy threatens to call the police, who is standing right next to him, but I stopped it quickly, and now my controller's out of batteries. I stop by a shop that is no joke called Donuts for Cops, and commit absolute atrocities, but it's okay. Because it's funny. I jump in my saucer and notice just how bad the screen tearing is, but Digital Foundry didn't have a video up on this when I bought it, so I guess I'm just stuck with it. After trying out the Slurp Master V8, I discovered that I actually had to have the goal selected from my slurping to count. You can't win them all. I attempt to start a new mission, but I'm too much of a square in this pig's body, so I return as a totally hip guy.
You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
In search of a pathetic human female, I jump into a hippie chick with a clean snatch. And that's wordplay. I, for some reason, reveal myself to a crowd who don't take it well, then absolutely dunk on some trucks with unfortunately well-placed explosive barrels. After nearly Nolaning this truck, I dodge an incoming attack, then let Rocket Man eat pavement so I can come back and return his package to sender. He would have been okay if I didn't extract his brain, get him exploded, and then throw him into another man. After dummying an entire bridge full of most likely relatively innocent people, I find an underground tunnel with a very explodable truck. Then I have a boss fight with a guy named Bongwater, whom I had to kill more than once while getting blasted with hippie juice. Oh, it even smells like them Pox. Emboldened by my psychedelic experience, I jump in the saucer and slurp my way to an upgrade. I am then introduced to a new mechanic that allows me to endlessly bash people with other people, and I have too much fun. I am now on a mission to turn these weak-minded plebs into Arc Voodoo worshippers, which is much more difficult when my love beam doesn't seem to be working. I swear this has never happened to me before. I reveal my alien body, breathing head buttholes and all, only to be denied by the hippies who want me to put vans on rooftops to prove myself. Straight bussing these vans to the rooftop, for real. I am then tasked with entering a restricted area, and it's recommended that I do it quietly. But then Arc Voodoo tells me to kill 10 people, so I guess it's homicide counting time.
1, 2, 3.
After finding Pox totally not creeping in a bush, he sends me to a base where I get ambushed by and then saved by the KGB. And then the slowest action scene happens. A chase ensues, and I accidentally depart our dear friend from his briefcase, but not with an explosive, making this one of the only missions I didn't complete to 100%, and I'm still not over it. I hop on the old spacecraft to disable a bunch of nukes and vans, and accidentally commit potentially the greatest nuclear catastrophe on American soil. Oops. I retry, successfully nullifying the nukes.
What are you doing?
I can get it out over the bay.
And then I laser beam the base into the ground. I now have the option to move on to a different area, but I don't think Bay City has had enough, so I run around town bringing people together. I start an optional quest to collect tech junk, and one of the pieces just goes missing. So I start over, and the same piece gets stuck in a car.
Get out of the car.
Why'd I have to get out of the car?
Get out of the car now, numbnuts.
I try again, bouncing a piece off of a very tough lady, but humans are only so durable. Once I collected the necessary parts, I put the device on a tower so Pox could communicate with the homeworld, only to find out that it doesn't exist anymore and no one cares about us. Which is weird that this was told to us in a side mission because it feels like kind of important information. I think it's time to move on to London.
Oh dear, that's not good. I feel the need to say the F word now.
Utilizing my sneaking skills, I find myself in a lab where Buddy Boy turns into a monster, but the sound effects weren't working, so I was like...
Okay.
Fighting this guy took forever because he has so much health, and I was missing a weapon that they would give me after the fight. And what weapon could it be? Aw yeah, it's probing time.
Well, that's about enough light for me for one day. Let me check the time. Yeah, it's about that time.
So, what do we think? Well, Destroy All Humans 2 is pretty good. We'll see you next time.
Ask me how do I sleep? Skeletons I keep